Well, hello my friends, my name is Dan Webz and I've been skateboarding for nearly 20 years, and this is a skateboard with a hexagon shaped nose. Weird, right? This is a 10-inch wide absolute mammoth beast. Now, your woman likely told you that size doesn't matter. Today, in this video, we're going to find out if she was telling the truth or if expanding the width of your wood is the way you should go. Let's get straight into it. In front of me, you'll see an array of different size skateboards. Now, each one of these is very unique in its own right. I'm going to start with the standard board and go through a little bit of why I think each one might be good for certain things, not so much for others. It's going to be a fairly quick one, but by the end of this video, you'll know whether or not you should be riding one of the thick bad boys or just a modest little popsicle. Starting off with the 8.25, the most standard skateboard shape you will ever see. This is just a normal popsicle shape, Escapism Skateboards, my brand by the way, check it out in the description. This is one of the best and most reliable shapes you can get. Obviously, it's the standard you'll see day to day. Great for tricks. This one's got a nice deep concave, so it's really great for catching your trick, really great for flipping them too. Personally, this board is a great all-rounder, but it might not tick all the boxes for every skateboarder. For me, I like this is my day-to-day, but it's not actually my favorite type of board on this list. I know, my own brand, blasphemy. So overall, if you just want something standard, you want to get to know skateboarding, I'd recommend something like this, especially if you've got a size shoe, maybe like from 4 up until 9, this size is perfect for you. But moving on from that one, let's check out this slightly older model. Now, this is one of the first ever skateboards ever made. This one right here is actually over 50 years old itself, which is nearly double my age, in case you didn't know. So if you'd like to come down here and take a little closer look with me, this one has been slightly battered because we've skated it quite a lot over the past year and a half, but I managed to get this one on eBay for like 40 quid, and as you can see, the wheels are absolutely tiny. I think this is in the era where they're still actually plastic wheels. The trucks are obviously something completely foreign to the kind of board that we'll see today. These things are a unique invention in themselves. I'm sure when these first came out, they were probably revolutionary, and it's got like a little rubber block in the middle there instead of the bushings that we see today. But anyway, this kind of board nowadays is more just a novelty for a bit of fun. You wouldn't see many people skating one of these full time unless they were doing freestyle tricks, because freestyle boards are generally about this size, maybe a tiny bit bigger, but this one is very much to be left in the past, in my opinion. Now we're going to move on to the hexagon shaped nose, and a great example as to why picking the right truck is going to be something that you need to think about when picking a shape board like one of these. As you can see right here, this is a welcome deck. I believe this is a 9-incher at its thickest part, and the trucks I actually got from another skateboard from the 80s. These ones are slightly younger than the other ones we just saw. These are like 40 years old, but as you can see, they're absolutely tiny, made for a board of similar shape to that one. This one's about twice the size of the recommended amount, so if you don't pick the right truck size, admittedly, you may not be able to get it this wrong. I just made this one for fun, but you can definitely cause yourself some issues if you don't pick the right size. If you go down into the description of this video, I've actually linked the size guides. You can tell exactly what size trucks you need for the skateboard you're going to buy in the future. This one is a perfect example of why you can't let that detail go astray. I mean, just look at the wobble on that boy, and a primo stand, I can't see it happening. Let's get on to the next board. Now, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm saving my favorite board till last because that's how it works here on YouTube. But right here, we have the Dragon Ball Z broom board. Now, a broom board, admittedly, not your standard model of skateboard out there on the market, but this one was crafted by the team here at Webz Skateboard Industries, and as you can see, it's a marvel of engineering. This actually sweeps up leaves fairly well while you ride it, believe it or not, but the board itself is what we're here to talk about. This one is another example of why the truck size might not match the board, because these ones are for an adult board, and this is a kid's board. So if you've got a younger kid, maybe like 2, 3, 4 years old, investing in a board slightly smaller like this might actually be the play, especially if they're struggling to make a larger board flip, or it just looks extremely disproportionate and you can tell they're not comfortable. Not all kids benefit from a board this small. One of the youths on our skateboard team is skating an adult board, and he's only 9 years old, and he makes it work perfectly. So it's not for everyone, but it might be worth giving it a try. Not much unique to say about this one apart from the fact that board be small. Let's get on to the final one. And finally, we have the absolute Goliath, CEO of Wide Pride, the 10-inch heroin beast. And no, we're not talking about my father's waistline. This board here is my personal favorite on today's list. Now, to find trucks that actually fit a board this big is quite difficult. They're not that common. These are 169 trucks, and this is a 10-inch board. It even comes pre-installed with wheel wells. Now, a lot of people don't actually notice this when they see this board, but these are grooves that have been molded into the deck so that when you lean too far on one side, the wheel doesn't rub against it, and that's causing you to halt pretty dramatically. So those are actually a big help on a board this size. This one, I've not actually gripped yet. Don't worry, I'm gonna set this up for a future video of its own and skate it as hard as I can.